kids around you. Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, when you gonna hear his revelation? Oh, oh, let it move inside of you. Life ain't no.
Hello there.
Oh, she's here?
No, I'm saying hello to you.
Oh. Hello, greetings, everyone. How are you? This is Michelle Simon, ah, where voices become vision, infinite perspectives live. Unfortunately, she, we are a little bit delayed in our reaction.
Things
So,
happen.
pretty much this evening, we do apologize for the delay. Our guest tonight, unfortunately, she was having some technical difficulties on her end. However, if she does come in, we will actually take the dialogue and
Mhm.
keep you guys apprised with everything else. So, we'll just take the opportunity to introduce ourselves, of course. I am Michelle Diamond, co host of Infinite Perspectives. Once again, where voices become vision. And I am also author, PR strategist, a philanthropist, founder of Next Level Promotion, which is a division of Infinite Perspectives brand, and co founder and steward of Infinite Perspectives.
Uh,
Linda.
Hi there. Hi there. Thank you so much, Michelle. I must say you are the best PR strategist that I have,
Oh,
and the work that you have done with that we have done together has been powerful. Uh, I know that post performances, there's a lot of analyzation that takes place for a performer, and you have calmed me down so much so that I know more than ever before that I am LB, Linda
that's
Boston. I am Linda Boston, founder of Peer Incorporated, which stands for Portable Educational and Entertainment Repertoire,
ah,
and founder,
Emily.
there we go, an
Continue.
author, an actress, a singer, a storyteller, a community builder, and co founder and steward of Infinite Perspectives. And we have a wonderful guest who has appeared like magic tonight. We're talking about healing, but perhaps not in a way we usually hear it discussed. Not healing as becoming a perfect version of ourselves, not healing as pretending the difficult chapters never happened, but healing as coming home.
Absolutely. And, as we see, things happen all the time, and we have to, pivot and improvise. And sometimes that's honestly the bravest thing that we can do. And,
Yeah.
when you're talking about choosing yourself, you choose to continue. And that's pretty much choosing ourselves over and over again.
Yeah.
Tonight, we explore what happens when a woman stops merely surviving her life and begins intentionally returning to it.
Yes. Yes. There's something powerful about the word home, you know? It feels good, it's comfy, that's the place that you need to be, regardless of what your home looks like. Home should be the place where we can exhale, right? Where we don't have to perform, where we are safe enough to simply be.
Yes.
But what happens when the person we need to come home to is ourselves?
Mm,
Uh,
lovely.
no,
I
that's some
love
real
that,
stuff.
Linda. That, absolutely. Well, Those questions will definitely get answered this evening. Our guest
Good.
describes healing as a lifelong journey and
Mhm.
says it isn't about becoming someone else, it's about returning to who you were lovingly created to be.
Yeah.
That in itself stopped us because perhaps healing isn't always about fixing what's broken. Perhaps sometimes it's remembering what was whole. Before life convinced us otherwise, tonight we're going beneath the resume, beneath the brands, and beneath the language of healing to meet the woman who lived the journey.
Hmm. Yeah.
Infinite Perspectives is proudly brought to you by Peer Incorporated, Next Level Promotions, Moniker Enterprises, Carlotta Cole the Brand, and Unlimited Networks Property Management.
Yes, to each one of our sponsors, thank you for supporting meaningful conversations that creates space for people to be seen, heard, and remembered. Tonight's guest is a founder, an author, a creator, a speaker, and her professional journey has included banking, risk management, compliance, operations, and beauty. Today,
Mm,
yeah, today she is building the Healing Empress, a healing and wellness brand centered around intentional reflection and reconnection, as well as
mm,
opulent rebel beauty. Forgive me, opulent rebel beauty, an organic metaphysical luxury beauty line. She is also writing her first healing companion, Ashe, a guided healing prayer and reflection journal for the divine feminine. But tonight, those accomplishments aren't where we're beginning.
not at all. Because
Mhm.
before the healing empress, there was a woman who experienced burnout, a woman navigating mental and emotional healing, a woman rediscovering purpose, a woman learning how to prioritize her own well being and finding the courage to begin again. And that's the woman we want to meet tonight. Please join us in welcoming Miss Ta'Kara. Ta'Kara, welcome to Infinite Perspectives.
Peace, family. Thank you so much for having me on your platform this evening. It is an honor to be in the presence of you, lovely, beautiful goddesses, on this
Oh,
evening.
Thanks, Marla.
It is a
pleasure is
pleasure.
ours.
It is a pleasure to be here. Um,
Well, we welcome you with open arms, and we're grateful that everything worked out. As we said in the beginning, hiccups happen, and this is just what makes us. We pick up the pieces and we keep on moving. So grateful
yes,
that you were
absolutely.
able to bless the stage and let the world know who Takara truly is. So before the Healing Empress, before opulent rebel beauty, before the language you now have for healing,
Mhm.
can you take us in a little and tell us who Takara is?
Oh. um Takara is a plethora of
Ooh,
people. Takara is a mother. Takara is a daughter, a friend, a sister, a everything to everyone. like Takara is, if I could say one thing about myself, um I am just I am just that person that I've always been like so optimistic. I've always had this larger than life personality.
Mm.
And
Okay.
even when life wasn't so friendly to me, even when life wasn't that to me, I always looked at the brighter picture. And
Beautiful.
that's what got me to my phase to say, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's break those chains. Let's break those generational things that tried to get a grasp on
Yes.
me. And let me get to my mission to do what I was called to do. And
Mm.
let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Because I don't like how I'm feeling.
Mm.
I don't like this part of me.
Mm.
So I'm always like a happy-go-lucky person. I've always been. Sometimes I think I'm a little too silly. I should have been in the entertainment business somewhere. I always get that. um,
Don't worry about that. I'm saying.
so it's like when you're around me, you gonna laugh, you gonna cry, you're gonna feel good about yourself.
Mhm.
And that's just so much about me. Like I just love to bring joy. And that's just Ta'Kara. Like what you see is what you get. Like I've never changed. I've always been me. And I don't know anything other than to be me. So
Beautiful. And I think you answered the latter part
Mhm.
of that question that I posed, who you were before all of that when you felt that something needed to change. Can you
Mm.
take us into that a little bit? Because you talked about breaking the generational curses. When did you realize that something had to change?
Mm. Great question.
I think I think I looked myself in the mirror and
Mm.
I didn't know who I was
Mm,
because I was so used to surviving
mm,
that I wasn't thriving. You
Okay.
see?
wow.
And I was so used to carrying so much on my back and carrying so much on my shoulder. And in my family, we don't talk about things. We just, all right, pick up, go. All right, we just gonna do what we gotta do. We just,
Mm,
it's all right. We just gonna do what we gotta do.
Mhm.
And one day, the things that I was, holding in and carrying started to manifest itself on me physically, where I
Mm.
started having panic attacks.
Yeah.
And
mm,
it was like, hold on, sister. Let's let's handle this
Yeah.
before this handles you.
Yeah.
Because I have a son. I have to be there for him.
Mhm.
And I
absolutely.
have to show up for him.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
my father always told me, if you are no good for yourself, you can't be good for anyone else.
Mm. Wise
And
words of wisdom.
Mhm.
when I looked myself in the mirror
Yeah.
and I started to see my eyes, I
Mhm.
started to see all of the things that I was carrying internally starting to manifest. I said, no, honey, I'm too
Mhm.
fabulous for this. Let me let me do the work. And at the time,
Mm.
I didn't know what the work was.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't know. I didn't know, but I knew I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
I knew I had to get it together because I didn't like the person that I was becoming.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't like the person that I saw.
You're talking about something that has become a buzzword of late, mirror work and shadow work, but it's such
Mhm.
validity in that kind of work. When an individual takes the time to really look at themselves in the mirror, it can be hard to do if
Oh,
you
yes.
Mm.
honestly do it. If you look at yourself trying and working toward seeing self.
Oh,
So what you
yes.
described the past few years as a season of profound transformation, when did you first recognize that what you were experiencing wasn't simply exhaustion or a difficult season, but an invitation to look more deeply at your life?
Um, I think the moment that I really saw that was when I was diagnosed with stage 2 cervical cancer.
Okay, that makes
Um,
that makes sense.
Mm.
I was it was very scary for me because it was so like unreal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, I had just turned 29 years old. And my mother's baby sister, who is an ancestor now, um, she also was battling stage 4 uh, colon cancer, I believe.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, we were having this conversation, and I was kind of going through some things leading up to that. And she was like always like my cheerleader.
Yeah.
She would, when I would go through things, she would tell me like, girl, if you don't get your beautiful behind up and like, for lack of a better word, she didn't say behind, but
Yeah, we know.
she would say like, girl, if you don't get up and get it together, I could still hear her little squeaky little voice, telling me. And we were having this conversation, and I'm like, Auntie, I'll be 30, the year after, and I want to go into my 30s, happy and healthy, because one of my favorite sitcoms growing up was Living Single. I
Mhm.
used to
Mhm.
love, they were just so classy and so sophisticated. And I'm like, I'm going to be like I admired Khadijah,
Mhm.
like that, like, because I was a Queen Latifah fan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like I admired her ambition, running Flavor magazine and different things of that nature.
Mhm.
And I'm like, when I reach 30 and when I get in my 30s, like I want to, I want to be like that. And she said, well, let's go to the doctor. Let's just make sure that, we're all good.
Mhm.
And what she didn't tell me was she had cancer.
Mm.
Um, that was excuse me.
Yeah.
Take your time. Take your
Yeah.
time.
Take it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Um, that was tough. A few months later, I finally got the courage to go. And it was a few days after Mother's Day, um, where, I got the diagnosis that it was stage 2 moving into stage 3.
Mm.
And it was
Oh no, we lost her.
Oh no.
I'm
There
It's
sorry.
she
okay.
is.
It
She's
was
back.
sorry.
You're okay. It's
All right.
it
okay.
was it
Mhm.
was early enough,
Mhm.
you know. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. That's
it was early enough for them to catch it
okay.
at the time to perform a certain procedure. And my sister said to me, she's like, you're gonna be okay. And if anyone that knows me knows the relationship that I have with my baby sister. Like, that girl is my rock, my everything. Like, uh, she is
Yeah.
my, she is my, she's my everything.
Yes.
And I never forget, I came in the house and she was like, I came into my parents' house, and my mother was just so strong. And she was like, girl, I could tell like it affected my mother,
Mm.
but my sister was like the strength. And she was like, girl, you gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like, I'm scared. And she was like, I know. And my sister, I'm sorry, my sister, she grabbed me. And my sister is not affectionate at all. Like, she grabbed me and she was like, you gonna be okay, I
Mm.
promise.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was my son. Like,
Mm.
and I remember I wrote a letter to my mother,
Mm.
like, listen, if anything happens to me, like, you're gonna raise him. This is how I want everything to be. Like, you're going to take care of him. This is like the school I want him to go to. Like, as a mother, like, you're just trying to get things in order in case this procedure doesn't work, in case I don't make it. You know,
Mhm.
um, I was thinking worst case scenario, but my
Mm.
aunt, she was like, girl, uh-uh.
Mhm. Mhm.
uh-uh.
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't know her cancer was as bad as it was.
Mm.
Um, and so, she hooked me up with like some of the best doctors that, she did research on. And I went, and a couple of weeks before, her 45th birthday, I went in and I got the procedure done. And it was
mm,
a success.
Yeah.
And I was sore, but I made it.
Mhm.
good.
And a few weeks after that, we lost her.
Yes.
And that was very devastating, because it was like, wow, like, I beat this like with you by my side, and it's like, you're not here. You're not here.
Mhm.
Um the following year, I went back for another checkup, and I had another spot.
Mm.
And
Mm,
this time it was bigger. And
Mhm.
they're like, okay, well, either, we're going to have to like remove the whole cervix, or we're going to have to do a hysterectomy.
wow.
And my mom is like, they're not doing either.
Mhm.
So, you know how mamas are.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
mom is like, oh, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 we're not
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that.
Right, right, right.
And, my mom said, no, they're going to do that procedure again. And this time, it's not coming back.
Mhm. Mhm.
And now I can tell you guys, 11 years later,
You still
it
here.
has not returned.
Right,
Look at
right.
God.
Yeah, you're talking about having the courage to choose yourself, and your mother choosing you, and your sister choosing you.
Yes.
One phrase appears throughout the way you describe your journey is choosing yourself without guilt. I don't hear
Yes.
guilt in what you're talking about. And that
No.
sounds simple until you've spent years being available to everyone else.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
where did the guilt around choosing yourself come from?
mm, good
I
question.
I will feel guilty because I have a big heart, and I always I'm a selfless person. But when I got to that point of realizing that, baby, nobody is coming to save you. You got to
Mm.
save yourself.
Woo.
Listen, I have no problem being selfish,
I hear you.
because I had to realize that I could love people and I could show up for you,
Yeah.
and I could still refuse to abandon myself in the process.
Come
There you
on.
go. Love that. Beautiful. And with
Yes.
that said, I love that statement. I'm going to follow up with this question then. Was there a version of love, womanhood, success, or responsibility that taught you putting yourself first was somehow selfish?
Mm. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it was. Um, I will go back to um kind of like my upbringing. Um, I grew up in a very strict Christian home.
Mm-hmm.
And I got married at a very young age. And the teachings were, just made you feel like everything centered around your husband and your home and that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, this is not 1940, 50, like, like, hold on now. You know, it's like, well, what about me? Just pouring into that sector, I forgot about Ta'Kara.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I lost myself in trying to pour into everything else. I lost my identity totally and completely.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, I broke myself.
Mm.
Ah,
I was
you
broken.
you recognize that.
Oh, yes. I was
Yeah.
broken because I was so busy trying to live up to standards
Mhm.
of others and not my own.
Okay.
I was so busy trying to please others
Yeah.
and not myself.
Mhm.
And
So
it left me empty. It
mm,
left me depleted. It left me broken.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
answered.
So what did choosing yourself actually look like then when it moved beyond words? Were there boundaries you had to establish or relationships you had to reconsider or even patterns you had to interrupt?
Mm.
Whew, everything.
Yeah.
When I say it felt like a breath of fresh air,
I know that's right.
oh man, when I say there is no feeling like being free,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
it was like I can't, it's like a euphoric feeling. Like I can't explain it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like I came home.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
came home.
To
I came
you.
home
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
to I came home to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, the first law of nature is self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got to know who Ta'Kara was,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not who anyone else wanted Ta'Kara to be,
Uh,
Ooh.
mm.
Yes.
not who your idea of who Ta'Kara was.
Come on.
Yes. Love that.
And when I got to know myself,
Mm.
oh, baby, when I tell you I love every inch of Ta'Kara, I
Good.
love
Ooh.
every,
I want you to
every.
stay right there. I want you to
Yeah.
stay right there for a moment because this
Right.
this is this is perfect. And the reason why I want you to pause there for a minute is so that we could just sit and just lament, taking what you just said. Because boundaries are often celebrated after we've established them, right?
Mm,
But establishing them can be painful.
mhm.
And you just broke it down for us. So tell us, did choosing yourself ever mean disappointing people who were comfortable with the version of you that
Mm.
didn't?
Yes. Yes.
Ah,
And I'm going to break that down, and I'm going to talk astrology really quickly. I'm an
Yes,
okay.
Aries.
please. Yes,
Okay. You
please.
I'm an
Aries?
Aries.
When's your birthday?
April 15th.
Okay.
I'm a full-blooded Aries.
Yeah. My late
And
birthday.
my moon is in Cancer, and my rising is in Cancer, and my Venus is Taurus. And when we get fed up, we give zero. We care zero. When I say zero, we care zero.
I know. My
And
birthday.
when we are done,
Yeah.
baby. Like it is done. We're like we can be loving, we can be sweet, but when it is time to like set those boundaries and truly like pour into ourselves, we don't care. We don't care who listen, we don't care. And it's so funny because my mother, and she still corrects me today. She'll say, "Now, Takara, was that nice?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't intend it to be nice. I intended it to be real and true. And I don't care. I don't care if I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize for it because I am being authentically me."
Mhm.
And I learned that love is not the highest frequency. I just recently learned that excuse me,
Authentic.
authenticity
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the highest
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are not authentic, you
Mm,
can't love.
mhm.
So
Mm.
if
Ding,
I
ding,
can't,
ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
I'm hearing
if
that.
I
That, that,
can't
that.
be, if I'm not real with myself, baby, I can't be real with you and I can't love you.
Come on.
Mm.
So I'm going to have to give you the harsh truth. And if that means that I have to hurt your feelings and set those boundaries and let you know, listen, this is what it is. I'm serious about me because I've gone through and I've healed so much. And the woman, the goddess that you
Mhm.
see before you today, baby,
Mhm. Mhm.
has put in so much work.
Yeah.
I refuse to allow anything and everything into my cipher.
Mhm.
This is some beautiful energy right here.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You can't touch this frequency.
Yeah.
If you are not on my level, please go away. Because this is not anything to be like you can't play around with this because I put in too much work to be who I am today.
Yes. Yes.
And I know my assignment. I know my worth. I
Yeah.
have an assignment on my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop until I fulfill that assignment. You may play around with your assignment, but I'm not going to play around with mine. I know who I am.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting you say all that. My daughter's an Aries. I feel you. And my late husband, same birth date. So I've been surrounded with Aries, and it's amazing how true that is about every other Aries I know. And it makes me think about what you may have learned about the difference between being needed and being valued, because those are two totally different things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you don't value me, I know how to remove myself from the equation.
Okay.
And don't ask me what I bring to the table. I am the table.
Ah!
Yeah, there you go. I
Okay, I
love
gotta
it.
write that down. Let me write that one down.
I
Well,
am
while
the
you're
taker.
writing, we have some comments coming in. Felicia said earlier on, "Hi, sister. Great question, Linda." And then, of course, your hubby said, "You said a mouthful right there." And we have Colleen Gray tuning in saying, "Sometimes choosing yourself means becoming a stranger to those who only knew the version of you that abandoned
Absolutely.
herself for others." Absolutely. We agree.
Absolutely.
Yes. And what
Absolutely.
it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
And when would you say choosing yourself began to feel less like selfishness and more like stewardship?
Mm. Mm.
Mm. I would say when the word no started to roll off of my tongue so easily and I didn't feel guilty about it.
Beautiful.
Because,
Yes.
you know, I would because I'm a giver
Hmm.
and I always love to like to give and be of service and I always love to help even when I was depleted, even when I didn't have it to give, even I didn't have the energy, I didn't it was like I always wanted to, to give and to to help and just when it was easy for me to say no and I didn't feel guilty about it, when I knew I needed that for myself,
Hmm.
it felt amazing.
I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Look, and you had someone follow up in the audience.
yeah.
Negus said, "I said no the other day. It felt so good."
So good.
And no,
Yes,
and not
yes,
the
yes,
table.
yes.
And Rich, oh, my sister, hi, thank you. She said, "Not the table." Oh,
That
Yes, the
was on
whole table.
the
The
whole.
whole table.
And see, what you're saying is choosing yourself doesn't mean to stop loving other people. Sometimes it means
Right.
you just finally stop abandoning yourself in order to
Absolutely.
prove that
Come
you do
on
love.
home. Come on home to yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Ooh.
okay. Like having those boundaries to say, listen, today, I don't care. Listen, sometimes I put my phone on do not disturb. And sometimes I
I
have to
do all the
tell,
time.
sometimes my mother gets mad at me if she doesn't hear from me. And other people, if they listen, sometimes I have to take moments out for myself because I can't function. If
Mhm.
I can't function for me, I can't function for you.
Yes.
And I have to tell people sometimes, especially my family members that call me that just dump. Listen, don't dump. Ask me, are you in a mental space to
Mhm.
handle what I have to talk about?
Come on. Come on.
Are you okay in this mental space today to
Hmm.
handle what I need to talk to you about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. I love that. And
Mhm.
it's so important. And bringing it back when you first started, you talked about homecoming, right? So, what you said, it resonated. You said something that feels central to tonight's conversation.
Mhm.
Healing isn't about becoming someone else, it's
Mm.
about returning to who you were lovingly created to be. So,
Yes.
tell us, who were you returning to?
Ah.
Oh my goodness. The fabulous Miss Takara. Like, I mean, uh, I am returning to love. Like the that is the only way that I can describe myself is love. Like
Mhm.
Mm,
I personify love. You know, I I give love and I want to receive love in return.
Mm-hmm.
And, I stopped looking at healing as fixing something that was broken.
Mm.
And I started seeing healing as remembering, you know? And in my book, that's why I really started saying, healing is a homecoming.
Mhm.
Because sometimes like we're not becoming a new woman or a new person, we're
Mhm.
just merely releasing everything that made us forget, what we already were. And
So
sometimes life can beat you down that
Mhm.
you forget that.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And sometimes, life made me forget that. Life made me forget that I was loved,
Mhm.
that I was loved. Some of the people that I surrounded myself around made me forget that I was loved.
mhm.
Mm.
And
Mm,
so it's like,
mm,
allow me to reintroduce myself.
mm,
Yeah.
I am love.
Yeah.
I personify that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's a slippery slope we're on in this day and age, and everything is so external. Everything is so out here. People are very seldom taking themselves to an intuitive space. And
Yes.
what you're talking about is intuition and internalizing what's going on. Were there things you once believed about yourself, or for that matter, about God, or even about healing, that you eventually had to question?
mm,
Yes.
Hmm.
Um, well, I would say I used to, I'll go back to my upbringing. I grew up in a very, very, very strict, you know, Christian household.
Yes.
And I was taught that God was one thing, but I always in my heart knew that God was more than
mm,
what I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I left organized religion where I found out that God was more, and God wasn't the box that everyone put our magnificent creator in.
Yes.
mm.
And that is where my true journey to healing began.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's important right there. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up because
Yes.
sometimes questioning is treated like the opposite of faith. And I
Mm.
could talk about that
Mhm.
for
Come on.
many moons to come. But
Mhm.
did questioning actually help you develop a deeper and more authentic spiritual understanding?
Oh yes. Oh
Mm.
yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I was taught, my grandmother would say, "Well, you don't question God." And I used to say, "Well, if I don't ask the question, how am I supposed to know these things?" Like, because some things just didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just would remember things and I'm like, well, this just doesn't make sense to me. And as I got deeper, into my spiritual relationship, with the creator, I
Mm-hmm.
said, oh, they was trying to play you. Like, like, hold on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you are way bigger and better than what these humans tried to subject you to. Like, hold on. Like, you are that and then some.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, as I said, like that is where like my true journey began.
Mm-hmm.
That is where my true healing began. Unlearning a lot of the things that I was indoctrinated into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Letting go,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of, generational hurt, a lot of generational pain. Like I realized too that I was carrying things that didn't even belong to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was, a lot of some of the things that I was carrying belonged to my ancestors. And I'm like, hey, like, hold on, like we got to clean this up here.
Yeah.
Like I refuse to keep passing that on down. Like it
Yeah.
stops with me. I'm
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just opened up my eyes and opened up my heart space, and to know and just to have that personal relationship. It's like, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like I can't, like that feeling. It's like I can't explain it. It's just
Yeah.
like it's like none other.
Well, see, that makes me ask you this then, because I hear what you're saying. I've been there. I'm there. I'll always be there. What you're talking about. Is there ever a point when we say, or we can at least say, I'm healed? Or have you discovered that healing is less of a destination and more of a relationship we continue having with ourselves?
I feel like healing is a relationship that we always continue to have with ourselves. Like
Yeah.
there is no timeline on healing.
Yeah.
There is no, like, I feel that as long as you keep living and
Yeah.
as long as you keep having experiences and as long as you continue to do your shadow work,
Yeah.
there's always going to be something that you're going to pull out,
Yeah.
that you're going to have to face,
Mhm.
that you're going to
Yes.
have to, because here's the thing. Some people, when it comes down to healing, and people think that it's all glitz and glamour, and it's no, baby, healing is ugly. Honey, you're going to have to ugly cry. You're going to have to pull your lashes
Mhm.
off, pull your makeup off, your wig, your
Yeah.
everything. And you're going
Mhm.
to have those uncomfortable conversations
Mhm.
deep down with yourself. You're
Yeah.
going to have to reach down and you're going to have to talk to your ego. You're going to
Mhm.
have those uncomfortable conversations. And you're going to have to look
Yes.
your ego in the
Absolutely.
face. And
Yes.
you're going to have
That
to
mirror work.
heal. That mirror
That
work.
mirror work.
I'm
Yeah.
That
telling
mirror
you.
work is something
That
else.
makes
And you're
That
going to
that
have
woman
to,
in the mirror, boy.
man, listen, you're going to have to look at the ugliest parts of you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Michael Jackson
And I'm
told
glad
us.
that you said
He sure
that.
did. He sure
Mhm.
did. Mike said, if you're gonna make a change, you're gonna have to look at that man in the mirror.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And healing isn't always the creation of a new self, because everybody always think, "Oh, I'm doing the work. I'm changed.
Yeah.
I'm changed. This is a new me." No, it's
Uh-huh.
not a new you. It's sacred remembering of the
Yes.
self that was there all along. You just had to
Yes.
return to base. You had to
Yeah.
return
Absolutely.
home. Remember who you
Absolutely.
started out as, and
Absolutely.
wipe away all the facade that the world programmed you or people instilled in you that you had to be. Like, no, be
Absolutely.
you. Be
Absolutely.
authentically you, because what other people had
Absolutely.
envisioned for you, that's not your path. That's not your journey, because you
Absolutely.
were created to think on your own. With that
Absolutely.
being said, we talk about the risk of beginning again when we're talking about new self. So let's take it there for a second. Ta'Kara, you said so many amazing things, and there is a fascinating contrast in your story. Your professional background includes banking, risk management, compliance, operations. These are all fields that require assessment, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Structure, control, and understanding risk. The big part, understanding risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, this chapter of your life required something very different of you. It required that you to take one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did the healing teach you about the difference between protecting yourself and becoming afraid to live?
Mm.
Mm.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, I would definitely say that I took risk on everything else. Why not take a risk on myself?
I
And
like
you know, and I feel like everyone the psyche teaches you to lean on and search for everything outside of yourself. No one is coming to save you, baby.
Mm.
No one.
that.
Yeah.
You got to save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go within.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in here. Nothing is outside of you. If you don't believe in you, if you don't take that magnifying glass
Mm-hmm.
and like seriously search yourself,
Yeah.
and I seriously look at spreadsheets and run data and all day every day
Yeah.
and and look for risk and look for vulnerabilities and
Yeah.
look for all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know you have to search those things within yourself.
Yeah.
You
Within
got
you.
to take a risk. You got to take a risk on yourself.
Well,
What's
I'm wondering when you began imagining a life beyond the career you knew,
I've
did you
always,
immediately trust
always
that vision, or did part of you wonder, who am I to do this now?
I've always
I
trusted.
like that.
Uh,
Yes, I love
yeah.
that.
We
I
always search
love that.
ourselves. Yeah.
I love that. I've always trusted. Um, but I think it was I saw a quote
Mm.
when I started my spiritual journey.
Okay.
And it said, she took a leap and built her wings on the way down.
Yes.
And I think that was all I needed. It was
Mm-hmm.
like I just, because it was like, and it was like my sister was always like my biggest cheerleader. Like I oh my God, I love my baby sister so much.
Mm-hmm.
She she always believed in me,
Yeah.
even in times where I didn't believe in myself. Like she always believed in me, and she's like, I mean, just do it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what? Like she's like, just do it.
You got to
And I'm
love and
like,
respect an ancestor. That's for sure. Yeah.
she's like,
Hmm.
just do it. And I'm like, okay. It's just like, no, for real, just do it. And I'm like, okay. So I mean, I took a risk and I left my hometown. I moved to North Carolina.
Mm.
No one like no one thought that I would leave. Like my family always thought that I would be around. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm blowing this popsicle stand. I'm out of here. Like
Well,
I'm
I like
going.
that you said that you blew the popsicle stand and you're out of there because now we could truthfully talk business, right? Because this is
Mhm.
where the resume begins to make sense. Tell us about the
Mhm.
Healing Empress. Not simply what it is, but what part of your own journey gave birth to it.
Mm.
Well, the Healing Empress came from um years of like pieces of like my journal, my personal journal,
Mm-hmm.
and things that I would like jot down in my journal, and I would say like, you know if my ancestors and my someone was guiding me and talking to me, like what would they say to me
Mm-hmm.
as I'm going on this part of my journey? or if I was having this conversation with God, like what would God tell me? Like how would God be guiding me step by step? Like what would I say?
Mhm.
Like what would he say to me?
Mhm.
And that's how it came about. Like everything that I jotted down in my journal on my healing journey.
Mhm.
And it was like I became one with the creator, and like I just put pen to pad,
Yeah.
and I just started writing, and I'm like, listen, we have to heal ourselves.
Mhm.
And a part of my mission is to heal the broken woman, because
Yeah.
it's like we look and we
Mhm.
see, and I have so many conversations with men, and you hear some of the things that they talk about, and I'm like, you're right.
Mhm.
It starts with the woman. It
Mhm.
starts with because we give life, we create life, we give life, and it's like, and sometimes as women we have to take accountability,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
we can't always blame the man. And
Yeah.
we have to realize as a woman our power. Like, baby, do you realize and understand that we can get a man to do anything we
Yeah.
want him
You
to do?
know, we got it going on
Talk
like that.
about it, honey.
No,
Talk
for
about it.
real.
Talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, our intellect,
Yes.
our power that we have,
Yes.
we can make a man strong. We
Mhm.
can lead. We like, if you look back in history, the women were the leaders. The
Mhm.
women ran the kingdoms. It was the women that were going to war.
Mhm. Mhm.
In historical, like, listen, the most well-behaved women, they didn't make history, you know.
Right.
They didn't make history. It was the ones,
It
it
was
was
the
the
radical.
rebels.
It
It
was the
was the
radical.
rebels.
Yeah.
We ran it, and we have to take our power back.
And
So it's like,
you're describing creating intentional spaces where women can slow down and reflect. See,
yes,
and that's
yes,
necessary for a woman to be whole
yes,
and reconnect with themselves. And
yes.
we can make a man and we can break a man.
Absolutely.
So,
And that's what we have to realize, we have that
we have
power.
that power. So why do you think so many women need permission simply to slow down and realize these things?
And
Ooh! Listen, this
I
is a
love
whole
that.
nother show. Y'all need to cut
I
it out.
yes, I was gonna say we need a part two. We need
Yeah.
a part two, because that is a
Uh-huh.
whole
This is
nother
a whole nother
conversation in
show.
itself.
Ooh,
Yeah.
listen.
Yes.
Um,
And it is pertinent, you know, as women, that like we realize like the power that we hold. Like, baby, we don't have to wait for anyone's permission. I don't need your permission
Yeah.
at all. I don't need your permission to heal.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
don't need your permission to be whole. I don't need your permission to do a doggone thing.
Hmm.
It
there you
starts
go.
with me.
Hmm.
I'm going to take that initiative,
Yeah.
because if I do what
Absolutely.
I have to do, everything around me is going to shape to the frequency
Yes.
that I'm holding.
That's the permission. That's
Yes.
That is all
Yes.
the permission that I need.
it. Hmm.
Yes. I love that. And
Hmm.
like we said, that in-depth conversation, would love to revisit that entire topic
Yeah, we
because
need to do
listen,
that again. Yeah.
we need to have that on. Okay.
We do,
But then,
definitely.
of course, we have your other business. There's Opulent Rebel Beauty, your
Hmm.
organic,
Yes.
metaphysical, luxury beauty and wellness brand that
Yeah.
celebrates self care as sacred ritual. I
Yes.
love everything about it in that name, Opulent Rebel. What does being an opulent rebel mean to you?
Oh, come
Oh
on. Yeah.
man. Being a luxurious bad one. I'm not gonna say the word because I know there is some people listening, but
Uh-huh.
you know, a bad butt. Like, that's what a rebel is.
Yeah.
Just and me, that describes me. I've been a rebel my whole life. Like, I've always done what I wanted, when I wanted, and how I wanted to do it.
Mm.
Um, that's kind of how I live my life. And like that's what it represents, like just being who you are, going against standards. Like, whose standards am I living up to? My own. I don't have to conform to your standards. And this line is for women who want to feel free, who want to feel, luxurious, who want to feel empowered. Like, that's who it's for. It's for the mother who's working a 9 to 5, or who's working in corporate America, or you don't know what she's
Yes.
dealing at home, and she wants to put on that lip color, or
Mhm.
put on her face products, or put on a lash,
Mhm.
or put on something, and know that whatever is touching her skin
Mhm.
is made from nature, and it makes her feel good, and it gives her
Mhm.
that confidence to know that when she walks into those boardroom meetings, that she's stealing the show, and that she's going to get those $1 million deals,
Mhm.
and
Yes,
she's gonna
yes.
she's going to do everything that she's supposed to do with confidence and in love.
Mhm.
I love
Well,
that.
well,
That's
how
that
has your
juxtaposition in the
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I was wondering how your understanding of beauty changed as your relationship with yourself changed. Because I'm thinking that in your understanding of what beauty is, you began to see yourself differently.
um I began to see myself differently when I realized that I don't have to live up to anyone's
Yeah,
standard.
yeah, yeah. That's what I needed to hear you say. And
Hmm.
I think that women, young and older, need to hear that more
Yes.
often.
Love the
We
Absolutely.
that you're in.
we are so into replicating one another,
Yes.
so into looking like the other one.
Yes.
I heard a comedian say he doesn't want to see all women look the same, and he don't
That's
want to see all women look like black women.
uh,
So that was deep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And it takes us into, what you're doing now. You're also writing your first healing companion, right?
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Ashe, a guided
Ash-
healing prayer and reflection journal for the divine feminine. And I love it.
Hmm.
Why a healing companion rather than simply a book? What
Ah,
do you want a woman to experience while she's moving through those pages?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want this book to be something to be passed through generations.
Okay.
Um, I want this to be a companion that you take everywhere with you. As you are flipping through those pages, I want it to speak to your soul. I
Mm-hmm.
want it to resonate with you on every single level, and every level of your healing. This is volume 1. It's called the remembering, because
Mm,
I want you to remember who you are. This is the first phase of your healing.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming
yeah.
home. Healing is a homecoming. You're coming home to who you are. Um, and there are also affirmations. I got a lot of good stuff. Actually, we are in it is in the last phases of being published, so it will be for sale soon. I have completed it. I'm very excited about it, because I have poured my heart and soul into this healing companion, and my prayer is that it reaches who it's supposed to reach,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
it I always feel that a woman that heals herself can heal a nation,
Yeah.
and a nation of healed women can change the world.
Can heal the land.
Oh yes, come
Yeah,
on, sister.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
You know,
yes, sister.
and see, you're talking about becoming home.
Mm,
Ta'Kara, and this is something that we asked you so that we can prepare women for themselves. If a woman sitting with us tonight could meet the woman from the beginning of this story, what would she recognize and what would feel completely different?
Ooh, nice.
mm. She would recognize an evolution
Uh-huh.
of
Mm,
a girl
Okay.
to a woman.
Yes.
Um, I stand before you a woman today. Um, I was a little girl for many, many, many years of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I I needed to go back and heal that inner child.
Yes.
The inner child that wanted to be loved, that wanted to be
mm,
accepted, that wanted to go back and heal, the mommy wounds, the daddy wounds,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything that I feel that I did not get. And the woman that I stand before you today, um, she is love. She has evolved into this amazing, amazing, amazing woman with an amazing story to tell. She is
and I love
bold.
it.
She
Mm-hmm.
is
Yes.
fearless. Um, she is everything that a sisterhood
Mm.
needs to add a value to her sisterhood circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And with you bringing that to the light, what do you protect now that an earlier version of you might have sacrificed? Your
Mm-hmm.
peace, your time, your voice, or is it your joy?
All of the above. But first and foremost, my peace.
Yeah.
Um, because my peace is so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
My time is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Time is money, and
Yeah.
I don't have a second to waste.
Ooh, you better come on. You better
No,
come
Um,
on. Come on.
teach it.
um, and peace is everything because I mean, listen, I'm 40. I can't have bags under my eyes. Like this is, I mean, I'm in the beauty industry. Like
Yeah.
this is I'm you know
Mm-hmm.
um and just having a peace of mind is everything. It's priceless. That's something money can't buy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah.
and if it's not conducive to, you know, my peace, making me a better woman, a
Mm-hmm.
better mother, a
Mm-hmm.
better daughter,
Mm-hmm.
a better mate, a better friend,
Yeah.
um, a better person, a better anything, it has to go.
Yeah.
If it is not conducive to my growth,
Yeah.
it has to go. I have zero. It has to go.
Yeah. So as you look toward what you're building next, then what do you hope your life teaches women, even beyond your brands and your books and or anything you create?
Be bold. Be
Mm,
be
I love
relentless.
that.
yeah.
Um,
Do it.
and don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do, honey. Like, listen, you
Ooh,
are you
yes.
are the author of your own book. Do not give
Yes.
anyone the pen to
Mm,
write your story for
right
you.
short story. And
Mhm.
I'd add Keep your circle small
Yes.
with who you tell that they are
Yes.
definitely in your corner.
Absolutely. It's
Absolutely.
quality over quantity.
Quality.
Because
There you
one
go.
thing about me, I've never had a whole bunch of friends. And my mother will tell you I've always been funny ever since I was a little girl. I never had a lot of friends. Um, I've always had a very tight circle. Um, I don't trust a lot of people. I'm still like that. Um, and you can't trust everyone with your gifts. You can't trust everyone with what you have going on because people say, "Oh, well, let me pray for you." No,
Oh,
they're praying on you. Prey.
why? Yeah.
You're prey for
Exactly. There
them,
you go.
and
And not everybody know how to pray.
right. And
Exactly. We have
not
another.
everyone
I'm
wishes you
sorry.
well.
Very true. And we had someone that came right in with that comment says, Niggas, I can't see that. Is that L585 says, let me pre-order. So
Pre-order.
gratitude there. Absolutely.
Gratitude,
Ah,
King. Gratitude.
yes. So let's close with a few final perspectives because listen, you guys said a mouthful and then some.
Yeah.
Let's do some short answers or wherever your heart takes you. So I'm going to start with this, Takara. Healing is.
Healing is freedom.
Mhm. Okay.
Mm,
All right. How about this one? Peace feels like.
Peace feels like home.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
no,
Either
that's
that
right.
or I telepathically told you to say that.
I love that. And one thing you no longer apologize for.
Being myself
Mm-hmm.
or being too much.
Mm.
Ah, like
That
that
means you're
one.
not enough. That means you're not enough if you think
Woo!
I'm too
There you
much.
go. Listen, that's a whole nother topic in itself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why we got to come back for part two of Takara. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A belief you had to release.
That the sky was the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there
It's
you
only
go.
a
I
view.
love
It's
that.
only a view.
There
It's
you.
only a
It's
view.
only of you. There you go. Woo! Look. Okay. One thing every woman deserves to know about herself.
Mm.
Don't ever be afraid to start over.
Mm.
Mm,
Okay. All
Be
right.
brave
yes.
and be
Where's
bold.
wisdom?
Be brave and be bold. Okay, complete this sentence. I knew I was coming home to myself when.
Ooh.
Mm. When I started to glow differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And the world needs more.
Takara's.
Ah!
Yes.
All right. All right, then.
Listen, big old song. I love that one.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
goodness. That was beautiful.
Need some more Takaras. I know that's right.
Yes.
I live with one, even though her name is Takara. I live with a Takara. Yeah.
Ah, and
If,
she's the best. I know she's the best, huh?
she's wonderful.
Yes, yes. Give it to her.
Uh-huh. If there's a woman watching tonight who recognizes herself in the woman you used to be, functioning, showing up, taking care of everything, while quietly knowing she's exhausted, what would you say to her?
Baby, don't be afraid to pour into yourself. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Be brave. Be bold.
Yeah.
Take the risk. Choose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, that the most well behaved women, they didn't make history. And sometimes you have to be a little rebellious about becoming exactly who you were created to be.
Yes.
Yes, I love that. Woo! And before we close, Takara, is there anything we didn't ask or anything your heart wants to leave with the person who needed this conversation tonight?
Yeah.
Um, I would just say that I just want you to remember, release, rise, and just remember that healing is a homecoming. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't or that you are not.
Mm, I love that.
Yes.
Takara, please take this moment to tell everyone how they can stay connected with you, the Healing Empress, Opulent Rebel Beauty, your upcoming Ashe Healing Companion, and anything else you'd like our audience to know about.
Well, you can stay connected with me through my social medias. Currently, I'm working on getting all of my business websites up at the moment, but currently, you can stay connected with me through Instagram at Queen Lovely 86
And they're
or
scrolling below.
yes,
Yeah.
all of the information is on the
The
scroll
banner.
below the banner. I'm sorry,
No, you're
and
good.
yeah, so my TikTok, my Facebook, my Instagram. Please stay tuned to all of my social media. As soon as we get everything up and going, as far as my business pages, I will be posting as soon as the book is ready for release. Through Amazon pre-orders, I will release all of that on my social media. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. For those of you who did,
Yeah.
it was such an amazing honor to be in the presence of these lovely goddesses tonight. Like
Yes.
I just have
Feeling
to honor
beautiful.
you.
Well, we have
Well,
one
and
final question
Ritual.
that I'd love to ask, and I know that it's going to be a powerful response. If you could sit beside your younger self, little Takara, before the burnout, before the healing journey, before you knew the woman you would become, what would you tell that little girl? What would you tell that preteen? What would you tell that teen? What would you tell her?
Be brave,
Yeah.
be bold, live, laugh, love, and girl, go be a rebel.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Takara. You know,
Thank you.
tonight reminded us that healing isn't always about becoming someone new, right? Sometimes it's about becoming quiet
Yeah.
enough, honest enough. That
Mm.
word, authenticity,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
resonated.
Yeah.
And being courageous enough, go be a rebel,
Hmm.
okay? In Takara's
Yes.
words, to
Yes.
recognize ourselves again. Your journey reminds us that choosing ourselves isn't an abandonment of others,
Hmm.
it can be an act of stewardship. Because when
Mm.
we stop living from depletion, we create differently, we
Mm.
love differently,
Yeah.
we serve differently, we show up for ourselves differently. And perhaps most importantly, we begin living from a place that finally feels like home.
Oh, yeah. That sounds sweet. That sounds good. Thank you for reminding us that beginning again isn't evidence that we failed. You know, we're ever evolving, we're constantly learning.
Mm,
Sometimes it's evidence that we've grown. Tonight wasn't simply a conversation about healing, it was about permission. permission to rest, permission to question,
Mm.
permission to change, permission to choose ourselves, and permission to believe that no matter how far life has carried us from ourselves, the road home is and always still will be there.
Ooh, I love that. Again, guys, our audience, Ta'Kara, your supporting family and friends, my supporting family and friends. Thank you very much for joining us for another edition of Infinite Perspective. If tonight's conversation encouraged you, even challenged you, or reminded you of a part of yourself you've been ready to reclaim, or you had that aha moment, please like, share, subscribe, and
Yes.
invite someone else into the conversation because sometimes one perspective is all it takes to begin seeing our own story differently.
And remember, healing doesn't require perfection. Beginning again doesn't require permission. And choosing yourself doesn't mean you've stopped loving everyone else. Sometimes it simply means you finally included yourself in the love you so freely give.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This is Infinite Perspectives, where voices become vision.
Good night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Oh, wait, some more comments came strolling in. I'm sorry. Let me get it in before they yell at
Yeah.
us. Listen, Brittany Golson says, "I love you, Miss Ta'Kara."
Oh, I
Naira
love you,
says, "Great
sister.
conversation. So proud of you, Ta'Kara." From Anita, who you spoke with earlier today. And Brittany followed up again and said, "Great conversation tonight, ladies. Much
Thank
gratitude to all
you.
of you. We appreciate
Gratitude.
the compliments and the kudos, and we definitely appreciate you coming in and supporting this amazing goddess on her beautiful journey. And let's
Thank
continue to
you.
support by
Yes.
liking her platforms and
Yes.
getting the book.
Follow.
So until
Follow.
next Wednesday, see
Yeah.
you soon.
See you
Bye,
soon.
guys.
How you gonna change the things around you? Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, mhm. When you gonna hear his revelation?